Well, g'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. All right, I have this lovely leg of pork that I got on my course on the weekend. I'm gonna trim it down because it's gonna end up as too big a ham if I use the full thing. Okay, I'm gonna take out the H-bone, which is just here. It's basically your hip bone. And once I've done that, then I'm going to cut it down into a smaller leg piece and also a secondary cut. And I'll do that off camera. I should have got Brent to do it on the weekend because watching a butcher do it compared to me hacking up the meat, he really knows what he's doing. Okay, there's that H-bone out. As you can see, it's a pretty complex sort of bone, so it requires a lot of cutting to get it out. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to square it off. We'll go across the top of that bone. Right, we'll just flip it over, join those two up. Okay, just trim up some of the mess there. All this fatty bit, we don't really want that in there. And normally the meat trimmed off would go in your salami, because I've already made the salami and I've only got a little bit of trimming that's going to go to Bob. Okay, for the cure, for this one I'm using the maple ham cure from My Slice of Life. Check it out on their website. For Americans, you can go to sausagemaker.com. I'll also throw some Amazon affiliate links down below. There's no cures for My Slice of Life on their Amazon. They do have some dry cure bags and that sort of thing. And for Sausage Maker, they do have some cures, so I'll try and throw some links in for those ones. Alrighty, so we need to mix some cure up as per the instructions, and then we're going to be injecting it. I'm just going to do this little one on the camera because the other one's going to be a lot of buggerizing around. Okay, so I've got this sitting in a container. I've got my cure mixed up as per manufacturer specifications. We want to make sure we dissolve all the cure in there. And I have my little hand marinator / brine pump. Ideally you want to pressurize one. This will do, it's just going to take you more work. You want to add about 30% of weight. So this piece here is just under 2 kilos, which means I'll need to add about 600 ml of liquid, which is about a third of this. So I want to pump about a third into it. Now what we want to do is aim for each muscle group. Go into the muscle group. And just apply the cure. Okay, I'm pretty happy with where that's at. It's probably had about half of the cure, so the rest of the cure is going to go in the bag with it. If I go much more, it's going to overinflate the meat and it's going to end up too loose. In the bag, and the brine that's come back out, put that in, and I'll put the rest, bring it up to weight. That's it about there. It doesn't need to be air free. But you want to try and keep as close to fitting bag as possible. That way you can keep the brine up against the meat. So that'll get a little bit of a massage and a flip every day. That's going to go in the fridge. It's going to be in the fridge for about a week. And then after the week, then we can go on to hot smoking it. All right, folks, the reason I didn't want to try and film this, getting this one in the bag, it was a fight. You can see how tight it is in the bag, and this is the biggest bag I could get. My next option up was a vacuum storage bag, which I did happen to buy one just in case. All right, folks, here we are. We've had a week and a bit. As I said, this one may end up a wee bit salty. That's fine, but this one will be okay. I didn't want to smoke them at different times. I could have injected this a bit later, which probably would have been a smart option thinking back, but I didn't take that. So, going to take them out of the bags and wash them nice and clean. Try and get any salt, any residue of the cure off the outside, and then they will be going into the fridge. Okay, so everything's dried off. This one can go straight in the fridge and develop the pellicule, which is just a sticky outside. It means the smoke's going to stick a bit easier. This one here, I just want to shape it up a little bit because it's that end piece. It's not got the greatest shape in the world. Okay, I'll just put a butcher's knot in. Okay, I'll just lock that off. Okay, as to doing this knot, have a look at Scott Ree. He is a butcher. I am just a hack. And he can show you how to do it properly. Okay, so there we go, roughly tied up into a shape. It's not a pretty shape, but it gives it a bit of uniformity. Means it's going to cut off a lot better. And so now that one as well is ready to go in the fridge, develop that pellicule, and we can take it to smoke tomorrow. Okay, now we're down to a cooking type fire, which is just coals mainly. A couple little bits of wood don't matter. The smoke that's coming off these ones is fine. We'll add a few chunks of some of the wet apple wood. Okay, that will start generating some smoke for us. Okay, and there is our beautiful hams sitting up here. You can see there's a glossy finish to it. That's not wet, it's dry, it's sticky. That's the pellicule. That's going to help the smoke to stick to it. So we're going to put these on, and nice and low and slow, and give them plenty of time to cook. Now we're going to aim for about 100 Celsius, which is about 200, 225 in the Fahrenheit scale. We're going to crack open the chimney a touch. Not too much. We want some smoke flow through, but we don't want to have a roaring fire. So as much as possible, we're limiting the air. Alright folks, we're about 3 hours in. I don't know, I don't keep track of time. Just adjusted the fire, it's getting a little cool. I've been off heat treating knives, so I came back, adjusted the fire. Oh, look at that. It's looking good. You can see I've rearranged the meat just so the smoke division is a bit more even. And now we want to start checking out internal temperatures. So into the center of the thickest part, that one's about 58, 59 degrees. And as you'd expect, a lot cooler in the full leg. Check it on both sides. And a lot warmer on the side that's closest to the fire, so yet again we need to turn it. Alright folks, here we are, what should be the end of the cook. Sitting pretty good on the temperature. Looking absolutely gorgeous. Let's just check out internals. We're over our 71. Lastly, our little one. Yep, everything's up over 71, so that should be safe. Okay, there they are, nice and done. I'll probably free the meat up from the bone attachment here so I can shrink back with the rest of it. And then tomorrow, once it's cooled, we'll cut the bone off so it doesn't protrude so far out. But from here, they're going to go in the fridge to stop them cooking and let the temperature come back down. Okay, here we are after it is all cooled down. You can see we've turned the meat back there and it's shrunk back in a little bit. Now we'll take care of that bone. So luckily I do have a nice bone saw. Okay, now someone asked me the other day on that broth video about the marrow. There's the marrow, it's in the leg bones here. Traditionally your femur's used as your marrow bone. This would be considered the marrow bone on a steer, and much the same, it contains majority of the marrow within the pig. All right, from here, this one is going to be saved for Christmas. This is going to be our Christmas ham for this year, which is still 6 months away, so fair bit off. So what I have here is just some freezer paper. Just want to cover that end up, just protect the meat. All right, there we go. That is our beautiful leg of ham, ready to go in the freezer for Christmas Day lunch. Hey, as your meat cools down, it releases some juices. You end up getting a jelly. Now this here can either go to the dogs, you can dry it a bit further and make portable soup, a la the Townsend's. So yeah, you can dehydrate that out, make a portable soup out of it, or you mix it with some water and give it to the pup, which Bob's hanging around hoping that I do that. The piece that I'm hanging on to for me. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful color. Absolutely magnificent. Nice, firmish, fat layer. And the taste particularly being on the end, and it's got that extra smoke on it. Absolutely magnificent.